Like you buy an Apple phone because you identify with Apple, the company, the brand, you like their products and their service. You don't really care to know what their encryption standards are, what the latest like microprocessor there is. If you want that information, it's there. Like you can go and they have white papers. They'll tell you what which bionic chip is in your phone. But the problem with that being is with NFTs, everyone leads with that. They go in and they get to the nitty gritty. They say, hey, this is on this chain, this is doing that, because it's all nerds. But like the day you get like, I know you're a big fan of Peter Vu. If Peter Vu just said like, yo, Ryan, support me. I'm making an art, I'm making these prints. I sketched them on my phone. You can get one.
Hmm.
Here you go. And like I'm just gonna the NFT is just the format that I'm gonna give you the stuff in so that way you can ensure that nobody else has what I'm giving you. Then you're supporting Peter Vu. That community doesn't have to live on Discord. Like it's just like his community is however many people want to support him at any given moment. It's just the NFTs are the format. And basically, like this is why I find what Adobe did this week very fascinating, where they're saying, hey, we're gonna allow you to create the NFT right from the Photoshop application. So we're not even gonna mess around with you exporting this without your metadata being synced. Go ahead, sync your MetaMask. Click the marketplace you want to put this on, and then go ahead and mint right from here. So it's an end-to-end transaction. We're gonna see more of that. And what they're doing is Adobe is saying, look, you already know how to use Photoshop. You ain't got to go and learn Solidity. You don't have to go and learn how to, jump through all these hoops. Just get you a MetaMask wallet and get you an OpenSea account and like figure it out. And like
Hmm.
go and go talk to the people you already know. And like it's gonna be weird, I think, for a little bit because we're in this in-between phase. But as the tech goes to the background and the creators come to the foreground, what's gonna be fascinating is you're gonna see people just do incredible stuff. Like, look at Mike Winkleman. Largely, he's never really talked about NFTs. He just put his
Hmm.
work out there. It was very long, right? He's been doing that for like, 10 plus years. That's a heavy dedication, right? Like
Hmm.
that's dedicated. Uh,
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't 10 years into the game. A lot of people now are 1 year into the game, but there are going to be some people this year that don't talk about NFTs, but been creating what you would call an NFT for a long time. And they're going to be very successful because they're going to learn how to sell without saying Discord, NFT, this and that. And their community is going to trust them because they're not shilling them anything.
I like that take a lot. I think what you're kind of creating is you're redefining it instead of thinking about blue chip NFTs. It's like who are the next blue chip digital creators in a sense.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
NFTs are a
yes.
way to sell your creations as a digital creator. But like let's just say we moved this current NFT timeline a decade earlier, and it happened instead of in 2021, it happened in 2011. We
Yes.
look at a guy who we admired a lot as a digital creator, Paul Jarvis.
Right.
Who puts out software hit after software hit, good books, like a lot. Like he's if you don't know who Paul Jarvis is, go check him out. Like he was our idol as a digital
Digital.
nomad who
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
created stuff from his basement and like had an audience of 10,000 people who were just going to buy everything that he put out software wise. Like to me, he's got a better chance of being, this blue chip NFT dude than let's say, only because it's top of the head, like a long necky lady, even though she's young, she's got like Time magazine talking about her. We've got,
It's the
multiple different.
trust. No, you're spot on. It's the trust. Like where Beeple and Paul Jarvis are similar is they both have been talking to a community and presenting and showcasing their work for almost 10 plus years.
Mhm.
Right. And so when they go to the marketplace, whether they want to sell NFTs or they want to sell courses, they're gonna have an advantage over the person that just starts, a generative 10K project in their backyard tomorrow.
Mhm. Even if that generative 10K project does 10 million in revenue,
Yeah.
I think that's the thing too, is like you kind of have to, if you want to talk about blue chip NFTs, obviously you have to, for your predictions, you have to think about what are valuable ones already, but it can't be the whole equation, because like
For sure.
we've seen floor prices dump so quickly. Like I'm looking at Loot for Adventurers. I remember when the floor price on that was like 13 ETH and
Yeah.
it's two today, and
Right.
that would have fit my whole mold of like, oh, if you are a category creator or a format creator,
Right.
your NFT is going to be blue chip. But guess what? Like it's kind of fallen out of favor.
I think that brands and creators and just concepts that people trust, when they go into this technology and they create their version of an NFT, it automatically is kind of blue chip. Now, I think if the industry wants to acknowledge that or not, I think that that's a fair question to be had. But I think blue chip is an NFT that you can look at and say this comes from a trusted brand or creator. And and when I say trust, trust does not mean that you just started your that trust does not mean you're a life coach at 21, right? Like you need to have some years, you need to have some experience, you need to have some credibility and some substance to your name. And that's what allows you to carry it over to your audience. And then there's an education element that needs to take place because your audience might not be crypto savvy. They might not have wallets. They might not be uh, fascinated by OpenSea or they might not want to bid, but that doesn't mean you can't use NFTs. It just means that the conduit at which you use and interface with this technology changes. And that's why some of the intermediary uh in between companies like the moon pays where you can buy crypto with a credit card, that stuff is needed because that's what's going to allow a Paul to more easily get into this game because Paul's never going to care about you in his wallet. Like, he
Mhm,
might care about what's going to his wallet, but he's never going to care about what you're doing with your wallet. He's just going to say buy this with a credit card. And like
mhm,
the crypto diehards are going to be like that's not an NFT, but the crypto diehards are missing the key point here. The key point is the NFT is just a technology. The creators are the people that bring in the new wallets and that bring in the new users and that expand people's minds. And so we need to support them and we need to create like less friction between what what it takes to make these things and what it takes to transact these things and what it takes to participate in the whole NFT verse, if that's what you want to call it.